How's it going, guys? It's your boy JoJo's Whips back with another video. And on today's video, we got the S4. We got some little upgrades we're doing to it. And as you guys can see, we got the oil cooler from Mishimoto on it. It's a 19 row. Originally, I'll put a little clip in right here. I was going to place it right here, but I ended up changing my mind because, you know, this is where the factory intercoolers go when the car is twin turbo. And for those of you that don't know, this car is a single turbo converted car. So we got these, you know, wide open spaces, and plus I do have the heat exchanger for my air to water intercooler. So I feel like with that stacked up there, it would have built up a little bit too much heat there. And, you know, I figured it looks cooler on this side anyways, although with the M being right there, it did look pretty cool seeing it through the bottom of the bumper. But it is what it is. But I'll show you guys how I got it all mounted in. I drilled a couple holes out here so then I could get the bracket that comes on the oil cooler so I can bolt it in. I just have one of the bolts out for now. I ended up doing a bracket into here, and I riveted in, and then got a couple of nuts and bolts in there. And then down here, I just made like a little custom bracket with some aluminum and then bent it up and stuff and made it work. And it's not fully tightened in, but this thing's not going anywhere. I'm rocking the car right now on the lift a little bit, but it's not going to go anywhere, especially once it's tightened down. And then it does have -10 inlets and outlet, so that'll be pretty easy, because especially when the engine's back in the car, where it'll have to go into is going to be approximately right here. And then I'm actually going to grab the sandwich plate so I can show you guys which one I ordered. And here, guys, is the sandwich plate I'm going to run. It's from Earl's Performance. It's part number 502. You got your -10 ORBs. Then, you know, when you order it, you're going to have to order 2 -10 ORBs to then -10 flares. So then that way, you know, we could run the lines over to our oil cooler. And I did read online that that some people were having some issues running this sandwich plate, saying that pretty much the problem they were having is that the thermostat inside wasn't opening. They just, after like a year or so, that it just wouldn't open, which isn't very good, because then, you know, that gives you problems. But supposedly this is the revised version. But, you know, if we do have to fix it, I mean, it's not like it's a hard fix. I just got to pull the oil cooler and stuff off when it's on the car. But, you know, cross your fingers. Hopefully that doesn't happen with the car. And then I'm actually going to be running an inline oil temp sensor on the Haltech, so then that way I can keep track on that to make sure I'm not running the car on hot oil, so I don't kill the rod bearings and, you know, cause some other destruction in the motor. So that way, you know, I could know when to push the car and then know when to be real light on the pedal. Because as of right now, there was no oil temperature sensor. But, you know, this time around, you know, since we have some time, since we're doing some stuff, we got the time to do it now. But pretty much, this is it. I'm gonna put my phone on real quick so we can get it on there so you guys can see pretty much visually what it's gonna look like. So as you guys can see, this is pretty much like how it's gonna be. It might be backwards or whatnot, but this is pretty much how it's gonna go. And then the factory oil cooler is gonna fill in this gap. So then you could just run your -10 in and out, so we can get some cooler oil temps. So just give me a second so I can get this off, so then so we can talk about some other stuff. And just like that, we got the sandwich plate put away. And as you guys can see, these brackets right here that hold my heat exchanger, I've been wanting to get them powder coated forever, because it was always an eyesore, always popping the hood and seeing these, because these are made out of steel, so they were super rusty. And I finally got the chance to powder coat, you know, bring them to the powder coater, and they look phenomenal. And I'd actually got a couple other things powder coated as well, so that way when the car's running again, we can get that engine bay looking even better. Got the intake powder coated. And then this was actually built by the shop I took the car to. And it's a good temporary setup. This is for the so we can keep a track on the coolant temp sensor, because we weren't able to get the factory one calibrated with the Haltech, so we're just using a GM sensor in here. But the issue with this, so I had paid the guy to custom make this, and the issue with it is it doesn't even fit the hose. This diameter is way too small on both ends. But I was able to make it, well, when I had picked the car up from him, it was leaking a lot. You know, there was, you know, I had paid for some other stuff to get done on the car that wasn't done. You guys know how it is sometimes when you're doing these cars, you know, from the start by yourself. You know, you do end up losing motivation sometimes. You know, other times you're really motivated on getting the car done. Other times you want to take it somewhere just to have them, you know, get it done quicker. And I took that route, and, you know, I kind of got messed over on some stuff, and this was one of the things. This took them about a month to make, a little over a month. And, you know, and it not even being the right diameter, so the hose is so loose on here. But my temporary fix was I just got 2 hose clamps on each end. So a total 4 hose clamps, and just clamp them down as tight as possible. And it just wouldn't leak anymore. So I'm just going to do that again with this until I find another fabricator up here by me. So then we could remake something similar to this. Because, you know, this isn't bad. But, you know, if we could figure out, you know, I could just bring it to them and just say, make a copy of this, but, you know, get the right diameter, because this was way too loose on the radiator hose. But I got it powder coated for now, so that way when it's on the car, it doesn't look, you know, bad, because I feel like it kind of looked bad on there before. But now I'm gonna get the bumper on the car so you guys can see how well the oil cooler fits on there with the bumper on. And just like that, we got the front bumper back on. And one thing I will say about this car is the front bumper is very easy to take on and off. And I'm not being sarcastic. For those of you that do know, you know, there's some cars out there that are really hard to get the front bumpers off on. But yeah, as you guys can see, fits literally perfectly up there. And then I'll also go at this angle so you guys can see it from here as well. Fits really nice. Go down from the bottom angle. We got plenty of clearance from everything. The horn I'll have to adjust up on there a little bit. That'll be really easy to figure out. I was gonna get the air duct that goes here, but I'm trying to see. I don't know if it'll fit the factory ones. I just got to order a set on eBay. I think I found a set for like 50 bucks. But with this hose here, I might be able to finagle this hose a little bit to make it work. But honestly, I think even with it like this, it'll be fine. And then I have the RS4 honeycomb grills from Honeycomb Grills that I gotta have installed as well. But I was gonna take care of that once the car is back on the road, and then I'll get the whole car repainted, get a little touch up on it, because, you know, the car did sit for quite some bit of time. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Please stay tuned for the next video. This is JoJo's Whips, and I'm out.